the idea was that then a stunt double would you know, have to climb in a much closer shot that they could shoot on a lot if they had to. So he hit this thing, and my legs got immediately sucked under the water. Because from the plane is probably going 10 miles an hour, but in the water that feels like about 40.
He could have been killed, I remember.
No, I was hanging on to him.
And she was hanging on, I was hanging on the cockpit.
Yeah. And we're screaming.
Don't let go! So
Don't
the suction was such that I was on the side of the thing, I would have gone right under the thing, and there was a big rudder under there. And I remember the plane took a turn to the right so that all the crew that was on the beach couldn't see anything, because the crew was that way, and I was hanging out like this, and the plane went like that. And I'll never forget, and they finally, Jeff, I think, you yelled, and
you were yelling.
Well, we were all yelling. We were trying to get someone on a walkie-talkie.
Did you know what you just said?
Yeah, you were going to spit it.
I said, no, I didn't spit up, I sped it up. This series can work with just a mechanic. We're in a pilot, we don't have all that written.
The real pilot had a walkie-talkie, and it was critical that he slowed the thing down. He finally did. And I remember thinking for about 15, 20 seconds, I can't hang on any longer.
Yeah.
You were about to die.
I definitely can't hang on.
But I was holding on to you.
You were, but I'm telling you, it was. And when the plane finally turned, the plane then turned all over, and I looked up on the beach, and there were about 100 people going.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the way they looked anyway.
Then when we shot the fight with John Hillerman,
Yeah.
another great.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the director of the pilot was a former stuntman who should have known better.
Yeah.
There's the scene when we fight and we fall off the thing into the pool of water.
The
It's
water.
all in the soundstage.
John Hillerman didn't want to tell anybody, but he really wasn't much of a swimmer.
But he
was
floats.
scared to be in
He floats. Look at
And
him.
he was in a full uniform, flannel, with boots and everything, and he was not a good swimmer. And the pool that we were in was about 8 feet deep.
An amazing set.
It was
Unbelievable.
all they
All
had
on
to
the soundstage.
do, so they had stunt doubles do the fall, and then they threw us in the water on a different shot, on a closer shot, and just basically said, "You guys wrestle." John, what we want is for John to push you under the water and then see nobody for about 5-6 seconds, and we'll cut it to. You were watching and screaming and cut to the water and nothing, and then finally I come up.
You did that a lot.
I did. You're not a bad monkey. Jack, I mean.
You have lived one of the few I have lived, but bad monkey.
Bad monkey, don't smell bad. I'm sorry,
Well, you
I'm sorry you asked me to this.
Well, John Hillerman jumped on top of me, and we go underwater, and I realized that if you've ever tried to play a thing like this with someone in the water, you can't duck someone under the water without actually ducking them under the water. And he was literally climbing on me, because he was so terrified that he would be pushed underwater that he really wanted me to. Well, I'm underwater, and John Hillerman is standing on me, going like this, pushing me down with all his might. And I thought, oh, no one ever thought of this. And it was 8 feet, and I literally had to and just swim away, and I came up. And no one had thought to do a standard thing for scenes like this, which is you build a
pool.
Platform. You build a platform that's actually about 3 feet under the surface. You get on it like this, with the water up to here, and you go under the water, and you're fine.
They figured that was the last shot he was in. They figured what the hell.
We had him taking it back from that.
He can't go hold his own.
And also then a story about Jack, which I might have said this in Patricia's face, but when we shot the pilot, Leo, the dog, was impossible. He never did anything right.
Because he had the wrong trainer.
Well, yeah, I told
we
him
didn't
a
know
little
that.
bit. Yeah, the abusive trainer.
And I went to Belisari when the pilot sold, and I said, "You got to get a new dog." And he said, "Yeah, I really like that dog." I said, "Donald, you've got to get a new dog. This dog will eat us. I mean, our days will be 18-hour days every day. We'll be trainer."
It's that horrible.
So we started the series, and Don's very insistent on keeping the dog, and we had a new. When the series started, we had the regular trainer.
Because
did everything.
Because he wasn't being abused, remember?
You know,
picking him up by his ear.
I don't know if you know this or not, but the dog trainer on the pilot, the guy, we had a scene we were in the mock-up in the Phantom of the Opera stage, But they did the original Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney Sr. That's where we did all the mock-up scenes of the plane.
Oh,
Anyway,
that was mock-up.
yeah, and in the back of that soundstage.
15 years later.
In the back of that soundstage, you can still see the theater, the booths, the theater is still there from the. So he just keeps back. Anyway, the dog trainer during the pilot just really killed me. The dog had to do a certain thing. First of all, it was tough for him to get used to the patch, so he'd keep one like this, you know. Finally, he got used to that. But the dog trainer, he had to come to a certain spot and look up and go like that, you know, or something. And
Cough like a dog.
you know, you hear my dog cough?
Yes, I do.
An audio file that's just sitting right in front of you.
It's not a career move. Anyway, to get this dog to do something, he would tweak his ear and the dog would go, or you can do that better. Go ahead. Thank you.
That too.
But then what you don't know is that dog trainer was the dog trainer on Magnum. And he trained the Dobermans. And it was a disciplinary training as opposed to a love training.
This one
a
was an
reward
abusive
training.
training.
Oh,
It was an abusive,
and
remember?
I had a lot of that. I'm still okay, but I must have been a genius starting out.
Now he can talk.
Is it one cough for yes and two coughs for no?
I can do, well, it's one cough if the crab is stuck in my throat.
I used to beg him to do that when I had to laugh in the scene right before he did it. He said, "This really blows out my throat. I can only do it a couple times."
I got a message on my machine one time. Yeah, there goes a $30 million word. Yeah, I got a message on my machine one time. Steve was in New York. This is years after the show, and he says, "Jeff, you're not going to believe this." And I wasn't home. I wish I had been, but he says, "Jeff, you're not going to believe this. I'm on the set with Bette Midler, and we're doing a scene, and we have to laugh. And one of the hardest things to do is to laugh when you have to fabricate it." And he says, "Jeff, we need your help. We need you. Just tell us something. Jeff, are you there? Please pick up. Please pick up." And I wasn't there. But I was so flattered.
Bette Midler and I had to do a scene.
I would have thrown my larynx against the wall.